Hey gamers, how's it going? Today I wanted to do this video to try to see if I can convince some of you all to start collecting for this amazing system, the Sega Saturn. The Sega Saturn is what I consider to be probably my favorite console to collect for, due to how unique and interesting it was and pretty much how it never really got pushed here in the United States. Now obviously some of the games for this system are extremely rare, especially the North American set. But I just wanted to go ahead and do this video to show you all that you have options if you do decide to choose to collect for this amazing system. Now I'm sure you all have seen a bunch of my posts about how amazing of a console it is. But also, like I said, I just wanted to give you all some options in case if you do decide you want to collect for the system or play certain games, but you obviously cannot afford some of those crazy prices that you see all over eBay. Pretty much you have options here, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you all of your options. So as you can see, these are both two white Model 2 units. Here in North America the Sega Saturn was black, and pretty much they had the same body style. The branding was a lot different here in the United States, but aside from that, aesthetically they both look pretty much the same, the North American and Japanese variants, but the only difference is obviously the color. In Japan, the Saturn had more of a personality, I felt, with all of its different variants, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to go into all of that. I just want to go ahead and, like I said, show you all the different options you have if you want to play some of these amazing games. So, now, like I said, these are both white Model 2 units. One reason why I opted to get one of these, I've had about like 4 of these consoles already. The reason why I decided to go with the Model 2s is because of how much they resemble the Dreamcast. Dreamcast is another favorite of mine as well. Now, as you can see, you have the 2 gray buttons, just like how you do on the Model 2. And you can tell where Sega got its inspiration from when they were designing this console. But anyway, just a little side note. Alright, so right here you have what's called the Pseudo Saturn Cartridge, right? I'm going to show you software modification and also hardware modification. I'll get to this one in a second. But this right here is what's called the Pseudo Saturn. So Pseudo Saturn was basically an Action Replay cartridge that was modified with the Pseudo Saturn program, which can allow you to bypass region and copy protection on these consoles. Now basically the Action Replay was pretty much a cheat device that you can use to pretty much cheat on some of your games. You were also able to back up some of your saves onto the cartridge as well, and also use it to for certain games that utilize the RAM expansion on certain titles that were only released in Japan, because Sega of America never really thought to bring some of those titles here in the West for whatever stupid reason. But anyway, so basically you slide that in the back of the system, and once you have this cartridge in place, like I said, this pretty much bypasses any region or copy protection that the system has. This particular console has not been modified. So here you have Magical Knight Ray Earth, and this game goes for a pretty penny on eBay. Like well into the $400 to $500 range, just ballpark estimate. But anyway, with the power of Pseudo Saturn, you are able to pretty much play the game. But as you can see, it won't load up the game at all because it needs to run the program from the cartridge. So once you reset the console, it'll load up the Pseudo Saturn program. There you go. And pretty much it just gives you the option to start the game, reflash the Action Replay cartridge, and look at the credits. But we're just going to look at the start game part. And there you go, see? You bypass the copy protection using the power of the Pseudo Saturn cartridge, which is a great option, obviously. You can find already modified cartridges online for probably maybe 50-60 bucks, I guess. This one I bought the Action Replay cartridge, and my brother pretty much helped me download the program and run it on the cartridge itself. And there you go, see? So this is what we call a software mod. This, like I said before, this console does not have any type of modifications done on the inside. So, yep, as you can see, you're pretty much able to run the game, play the game. And it takes a while to load. And there you go. Alright, so I showed you all software modding through the power of the Pseudo Saturn cartridge. And also, for the sake of this video, I'll show you region bypassing. Now here we have a North American game, North American SEGA Saturn game, Tomb Raider, an all-time classic. Sorry, it's kind of hard to do this with one hand. There you go. Alright. And there you go. So you have a North American game inside the Japanese system. So you close the lid, restart the console to boot the program. Start it up. There you go. Shout out to my boy Level Up Games, by the way, for hooking me up with this modified Sony Trinitron, which has been RGB modded. If you're not playing your retro games in RGB, you're not playing them right. Okay. As you can see, it booted up Tomb Raider perfectly fine. And there you go. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, what I am going to do now is show you a hard modded console that can basically do all of that, but without the Action Replay. So as you can see, I have the Action Replay plugged into this system. So now all we are going to do, just give me one quick second while I go ahead and switch the cords to the other console. Bear with me, please. Alright, and now we take the RetroBit receiver and plug it into this console. Which, by the way, if you have not purchased any RetroBit products, I recommend them. I highly recommend them. I absolutely love this controller. Pretty much has the same feel of a, regular SEGA Saturn controller except wireless. Another thing that you can do too is you can also sync it to the Wii. So, yeah. Anyway, so as you can see, so now we will take this game, same one that I was running on this one, and as you can see, it boots it up without no Pseudo Saturn programming. So this Saturn is pretty much hard modded with the Phantom chip and also the region-free chip as well, and it also has an additional modification called FRAM. No, actually, speaking of FRAM, I do not have my memory card plugged into this system. But anyway, so basically what FRAM allows you to do is pretty much be able to save your backup, your memory, onto the actual system, and then when the battery dies, your saves don't die. Because one thing that's really ridiculous with how Sega designed the system, which I would say is probably my least favorite thing about the console, aside from that, awesome, like it's a great console to collect for, but the Saturn has has these little batteries that you plug into like a watch or something, and once that dies, all of your saves and your time and date data will basically erase. But with the FRAM modification, when the battery dies, you basically get to keep all your saves, which is a plus. So anyway, as you can see, it pretty much runs the game without no cartridge in the back. Alright. And see, I won't need to restart or reset the console without having to, run a program or anything. It's all hard modded into the system. So basically it kind of tricks the system that it's using the same, the same region, I guess. Or it just unlocks the region at all. But there you go. And it loads up Tomb Raider. Yeah, actually I've been using my memory card to pretty much back up all of my data. This is a normal memory card, by the way. No program running on this one at all or anything. It's just pretty much an additional memory. Aside from the internal storage that the Saturn has, you can also use a memory card. So anyway, as you can tell, it's pretty much running the game like it's, like it's normal. So there you have it, Sega Saturn. If you don't have one, get one. Just wanted to give you all some options. So like I said, if you're looking to collect for this awesome system, you can pretty much find them on a good deal on eBay. They don't really go for too much, depending on which one you're trying to get or whatever, because there's way too many variants for this system, especially in Japan. Unfortunately, they come stock with, their respected regions. So if you get a Japanese system, it's going to be a Japanese console and it'll only play Japanese games. But with the power of the Pseudo Saturn, if you do decide to collect for this system, and also the Japanese library is phenomenal as well. A lot of titles never really saw the light of day here in the West, so you also have those options as well. North American games are super expensive because they had a very limited print run. So again, you do have options with being able to burn games on a CDR. So, this way you'll be able to play on certain games that you missed out on, or games that are really hard to find online. So with the power of the Pseudo Saturn, you'll be able to bypass the region protection as well as the copy protection. So, you have that option. And then if you want to go for like the big, what I like to call the Big Daddy approach, you can also opt for a fully modded console, which pretty much has, in my opinion, it's pretty much the way to go. But for those who are not wanting to spend as much money, I would say go for the Pseudo Saturn. Pseudo Saturn is great for those, you know, looking to get into the system but don't want to pay that pretty penny to get these systems modified and customized. So, you know, again, I would say go for that option. So anyway, there you have it. Hopefully I managed to use this video to convince you to collect for this awesome system. You know, it sucks that it didn't really become as successful here in the United States as it did in Japan. But, you know, at least now we have options to play a lot of these amazing games. So anyway, if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment, or you can message me directly, and I hope you have a great day. Have a good one, guys. Take care.